Yo, what's up internet? It's your girl Liv. Welcome back. It has been a few months since I've posted. I wanted to make this update video today and just give you guys a little glimpse of like what's been going on, what's happening. I'm currently in my Tampa apartment. I've tried filming this video a few different times now. Probably should have picked an apartment with some better lighting, but here we are. Currently you guys are sitting on a roll of paper towels, so there's that. But it feels good to be making content again. I know it's been a while. I think I haven't posted since like maybe January, February. So I just figured we'll just give you guys a quick like update. How are you? What's going on video, cause you know, I post things on the internet telling people like what's going on, but some people just don't read captions on photos. That's unbeknownst to me, but my sister's like, you make your Instagram captions way too long. No one wants to read a paragraph. I do. But anyway, I digress. So what's been going on? What's been happening? Where are we? Update situation. So I'm still currently, you know, working my marketing position that I have here. However, I did just pass my Florida real estate license exam. It is it's one of the hardest exams in the country to pass. And I wanted to take this time to give a huge shout out to Magnolia School of Real Estate. They did not sponsor me to make this, but I just found their courses extremely helpful, especially since I also finished my hardest semester of grad school while studying for this exam. So I have just like basically had my head in the books, scrambling these past few months. So YouTube kind of just had to take a back burner because, you know, my advisor was like, I don't know why you're doing this your first semester. And I'm like, well, you're basically giving me no choice, because if I want to take the classes I want in summer, I have to take these really hard classes now, which we did. We made it through. That semester is done. Our hands are wiped of it. But anyway, going back to Magnolia School of Real Estate. So this is what I did for the exam. Michelle has a like crash course exam, and she has an audio book. And I got the two classes. I did my pre-licensing with Florida, like the Real Estate Express, but I needed something, you know, with a little bit more fruit to it. So her program like worked wonders. I failed the exam the first time by literally 1 point. And I think I would have passed it if I went back through and like rechecked my answers, but I couldn't figure that one out. But anyway, we passed the second time, which is awesome. And I took the exam like, I want to say the second time, I think I took it like 3 weeks after. I was going to take it a little bit earlier than that, or try to, but I ended up going to New York and then for a weekend, and then came back. So I knew I wanted to give myself a little bit more time. But thank you, Michelle. If you happen to come across this video and are in the process of getting your real estate license in the state of Florida, like I was, I'm gonna put her information down in the box. I don't know if YouTube will let me link it or not, but her YouTube channel it's either like Michelle Early or Magnolia School of Real Estate. Either way, I'll make sure that information is in there below for you guys. Like I said, it's the 7th hardest exam, I'm pretty sure, in the country. So again, like, she absolutely did wonders. And that leads me to another update. You know, this semester was really tough. It probably wouldn't have been as tough if I would have, you know, got counseling and things before, but I did, you know, finally get help for like my ADD, ADHD. I don't know if like what they technically diagnosed me with, but it was like one of those, and like anxiety. But I told them, I was like, my anxiety, I'm pretty sure, comes from the lack of me being able to focus. And then I just get really stressed out because there are things that I really want to be able to do and can't. So that was another huge chapter, self-discovery this year. It's been something that like I've been trying to do when I was in New York, and just kind of like the timing with like where I was at with my job and moving, and trying to figure out like the puzzle pieces there. It made it like, I don't want to say it made it difficult, but with my other job, I just didn't have the time and flexibility to really do everything that I needed to get help or like finish the process of it. So we ended up doing that down here, which was probably a better move. I definitely saved some money doing that here versus New York. But either way, if it is something that you are struggling with, I really encourage you to get help. I happen to just have the luxury of having friends who, you know, are licensed therapists, to kind of give me like a guideline of, hey, like this is what we think you should be doing. We're like, I'm pretty sure that you have this. I would go like actually sit down with someone who can, you know, give you a little bit more further steps. So that was very helpful. I mean, I am currently 26. I'm turning 27 in like September, but it's one of those things where if you're like I don't say like high functioning, but I mean, I like did pretty decent in school. I think, you know, the difference between me being like an AB student and me being an A student might have been like me getting diagnosed earlier. But it's definitely something that like I've noticed has been affecting me like more and more as I get older. And I know that like there's some stigma, or someone's gonna be like, well, you know, it's just you, like you don't need it. Because I mean, I've gotten some of that pushback before, but you know yourself best. And there are people who are not on the internet, who go to school for many years and pay lots of money to get certified so that they can help you. And TikTok is great, Instagram is great, YouTube is great, but I still stand by the point of like, get a certified opinion from someone. The person that's telling you to take these supplements online and that it's going to cure like all of your mental health diseases is usually not a certified doctor. And that's just where I stand. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you are suffering with like any type of anxiety, any type of depression, if you are like, hey, you know, I think I really should get looked at for like ADD, ADHD, I encourage you to do so. I know that there are some apps where like you can talk to someone via telehealth or Zoom, but each state is different. I know that in the state of New York and in the state of Florida, you have to like physically go see someone and get referred by a doctor in order to get like the proper medications and things that you need to be on. So that's just my little spiel. You know, I think we are at a time where like mental health is important, and it's something that you need to really consider, especially with how like the world's going right now. And you know yourself best. So don't ever feel bad or feel ashamed of saying, hey, like I need to go see someone, because people want you here and they want you here alive. So though that like I've been wanting to make like YouTube videos more, I was kind of on the fence because I've been spending a lot of time on my TikTok, which I'm on there. My TikTok's Olivia Eleen. My Instagram is also Olivia Eleen. I try to keep everything the same. so yeah, we got coaches. My goal is like to try to get more organized, try to come up with a schedule, be better at creating content and posting. I am a big believer in like, there's different things to do in like different seasons of life, and you kind of have to like pick and choose your battles of like what it is that you want to focus on. As I said, unfortunately, YouTube kind of had to take the back burner these past few months, but that's just a little update. I am currently in Tampa, was in Brooklyn before. Not to say that I don't want to go back to New York. I definitely like want to be in and out of New York. I'm happy that I'm here in Florida though. We are in grad school to get my master's in marketing. So in case you didn't know, a lot of things going on. I'm also grateful though, because it just seems like there's been a lot more doors opening for me here in Florida. And I know some of you who are watching this have kind of been on the fence of like, oh, I don't know where I should go, or I don't know what I should do. This is my opinion. You can take it or leave it. But if you feel like either you haven't liked your job for a while, you need change, one, like my recommendation is your resume should always be ready. I don't care whether you love your job and you think you're going to be there in 10 years or not. Make sure your resume is updated. That's number one. Number two is, before you go and say, I want to live in 10 different cities and I want this job or I want this job, you kind of want to like narrow it down a little bit. So my personal recommendation, like when I was in New York, I was applying for jobs in New York, I was applying for jobs in Florida, and I was applying for grad schools. I should say grad school, because while I was applying for jobs, I just applied to grad school too, and I got in. Don't really know how, but we did. So pick like a few different areas. Don't pick 10 different things, just narrow it down and have that be your focus. And then my other suggestion to you is, one, you're going to probably go through a couple rounds of interviews once you get to that point. My opinion is one, you say yes until you can say no. If you are like on the fence and you get presented a job in the city you're currently at, and then you're also interviewing for jobs in another city, say yes. And then you can always go back and tell them no. But it's much harder if, you are like in the process of applying for jobs and interviewing, if it's a good job, it's a good opportunity, and they offer it to you and you're like, you know what, I really want to be in this city instead of this one, and you say no, and then all of a sudden you don't get anything here and try to go back and do the latter. Because I know people have done it. It is possible, but it's just like a lot of back and forth. So my suggestion is just like pick 2 or 3 places, 2 or 3 industries. I don't want to even say 2 or 3 industries. You know the industry you want to be in. You know the type of job you want to have. Apply for jobs that are similar to that one. I'm in business, so I kind of was applying for different things like sales roles. I was interviewing for like a couple different types of jobs. I was interviewing for sales jobs. I was interviewing for recruiting and marketing. I ended up picking a marketing job because I needed something that was going to be a little bit more flexible with my grad schedule, because some of these industries can be pretty intense, especially if you're doing like any type of medical device sales, pharmacy sales, tech sales, and you're getting into it. Just note that. But if you know the industry you want to be in, you kind of know where you're going to be at, just apply for jobs there and go with your, I don't want to say go with your gut, but you just know. And another tail sign of hey, you're supposed to be somewhere is doors are just going to open for you. That is what's been my case. Maybe you're just this super stellar person and everyone wants to hire you and you can kind of have your pick and choosing. But for me, what I found is it seems like whenever I was supposed to move somewhere or take a job or do something, like only one door would like be open. So when I graduated college and I was trying to figure out what to do, I was applying for jobs in LA, I was applying for jobs in Boston, I was applying for jobs in New York. And it just seemed like every single door like was opening for New York and all the other doors were like remaining closed. And I kind of knew just like New York is where I was supposed to be. I did get into like a master's program in London and ended up turning that down. But in the end, I'm happy with the decisions that I made because like my first year I was in New York, I built some of like the best relationships that I have now, and I wouldn't have had those people in my life had I gone to London. Or maybe I have, maybe I wouldn't have, but I just don't like to say like the go back and change things, because you have to be grateful for where you are now. And if you are still listening to this video, I just want to remind you, like, one, everything will always work itself out. We are in a society, everyone wants to focus on the negative. Like, everyone wants to just talk crap about each other on the internet. Everyone wants to tell you what you should do with your life, and that what they did was gonna work for you. And here's like the 10 easy steps, and if you follow these steps, you're gonna be a millionaire. And I'm just kind of going on a tangent right now, but you kind of get my point. Like, one, you have to stay positive with things. You have to plan things. I know some of you guys aren't planners, but in life, like when you get older, like there are certain things you need to plan for, okay? And the last thing that I'm gonna leave you guys with is, you know, when I was sitting down and having like my meeting with one of my coaches from my class this semester, she told me, she's like, you know, you have to envision like the success before you get there. And it's often like, think of your worst case scenarios, and like that's usually like what will drive people. I hate to kind of like give a negative connotation to it, but it's like, you know, like if you have like nothing, like you're gonna find a way to hustle and figure it out. And like you have to put in the work. Like things aren't gonna be handed to you. But you also have to believe that you can, and figure out what motivates you and make like your decisions accordingly. But you have to be willing to like take the risks in order to get the rewards in life. Whether someone's gonna tell you that or not, I'm gonna be that person to tell you. So it's important to acknowledge like where you've come from and what you've achieved. I am someone who kind of tends to live up here in the future, and I'm always focused on like, what can I achieve? I'm not here yet. I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do 10 different things. It's like, no, you kind of have to narrow it down. But I try to be a pretty humble person, so I don't really like to acknowledge my success, and I really don't like to acknowledge things on the internet, which is probably like why I've been kind of like not like posting on YouTube, or or giving like full updates on everything. Cause I'm like, man, like this semester, like this exam, like preparation for this stuff, I feel like it's killing me. And there were so many weeks where I was just like so stressed out, but everything worked itself out. We're still in grad school. We passed our exam, and I'm excited for like my next steps to come, and to kind of like really get to see what God's gonna do through me, like here in Tampa, and here in Florida. And before I knew, it was like, is Tampa you're gonna be forever? I literally don't know. I don't know. All I can say is that God has a really funny way of putting me in places where I never thought I would be, So I am not playing the never say never game anymore. I'm just kind of like, yo, you want me somewhere, you're gonna make moves and open the doors because you know that's what's gonna get me there. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for, you know, taking some time to sit with me. If you're still here watching, thank you, appreciate it, love you. Again, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I'm mainly on TikTok. I probably post on that app more than any of the others because I just like it more. But that's my opinion. I should probably go run and get my workout in. I just wanted to wait, figured I would come. I really did not want to make this video. I didn't. I'm not even gonna sit down and lie. I came in and I've just had like one of those days where you just kind of feel like crap. And I was like in my car ride, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna have the energy to like sit and talk in front of a camera. But we did it. We're here. We made it through. I am hoping to, you know, give somewhat of like, I don't want to give like a full apartment tour, but I do want to do like a thrifting haul because I have thrifted a lot of stuff for my apartment that I'm very proud of. Still trying to thrift some more things. That being said, peace, love, and blessings, y'all. Most importantly, remember that you got this. Bye.